Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Monet Everett, celebrity and editorial hairstylist, author, and client attraction coach. And this is how to get hired at Fashion Week. I don't know about you guys, but I am so sick of people telling me no one gets paid at Fashion Week. Everybody has to volunteer. It is an absolute lie. I have been in the hair and beauty game for over 20 years. I've also done more than 25 seasons of Fashion Week. 25 seasons. If you see the reel I just put up, those are some of my tags from some different fashion weeks and different shows that I've done just over the last few years because I threw away about 50 of them. But you know, I'm sentimental, so I had to keep on some of them. All right, so we're going to jump right into it without further ado. Go ahead and run over to your workbook. And while you're doing that, I'm going to show you something. Remember, I told you anybody that signs up for how to get hired at Fashion Week today would be entered to win a competition. They'll be entered to win products from Biolage as well as tools from H2 Pro Beauty that can be used on all hair textures. So for those of you who signed up for today's class, you are entered right here. So we're going to get right back to that. For now, let's go ahead and jump right into the lesson, how to get hired at Fashion Week. And if you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A section. This is how to get hired at Fashion Week. So I'm going to jump right in, open up your workbooks. Let me share that to you. I hope that you are digging your workbook. I worked really hard on it, and it has been drastically updated from the other workbooks and classes that I've done in the past. Once again, if you have any questions, put them in the Q&A and we will jump to them at the end. We're going to start with some pretty basic things. There are two types of work in the entertainment field. A lot of times you hear people talking about different things. You hear them saying, oh, you know, I work in TV, or I work at the theater, or I work in funeral homes, or I work at plays or events, or I do editorials. Regardless of how they're placing it, overall, you generally fall in two types of work. Type 1 is print work, and type 2 is TV and film. So a lot of people think TV and film is really explanatory. Yeah, it is. It's TV that you see on TV. It's film that you watch in the movie theaters. It's also documentaries. It's also, it is also theater work. It is also work that you see at theme parks. So film and TV encompass generally some pretty live action stuff, or a lot of action. It's generally long form. A way to think about it is it's generally something that lasts more than, I would say, 20 to 30 minutes, okay? The work that is a little harder to grasp by the name is print work, okay? So I hear a lot of artists say, hey, I want to work with celebrities, or I want to do editorials, or I want to do music videos. They don't realize all of that falls under print work, okay? So when you do print work, this is when you're doing the photo shoots with celebrities. This is when you're doing publications with celebrities. Interestingly, you might do morning shows with celebrities, commercials with celebrities. Fashion Week falls under print work because it's really a short amount of time that you're working together. So all of this is combined. Sometimes you'll see YouTube videos. Now that they're more respected, they're falling under both print world as well as TV and film, okay? So although today's class is on how to get hired at Fashion Week, if you have a want to work in Fashion Week, it generally lends itself for you to work with celebrities, for you to do red carpets with celebrities, for you to do really short TV morning show stints when you're traveling with the celebrity, press shoots with the celebrity, music videos with the celebrity, editorials with them, advertisements, advertorials. All of those things fall under print work. There is a difference in hairstyling if you are working in a salon versus working fashion week, okay? And a lot of people don't realize it. So generally, if you're working in a salon, the client comes to you and they want you to make their hair look great from one shampoo to the next, whether they shampoo daily or weekly or what. That's pretty much your job. And it's all about making that hair look amazing, getting that volume, getting that lift, getting those part straights, doing this, doing that. But working at Fashion Week or on the print side of things, a lot of times it's about making the clothes look good, or it's about making the entire aesthetic look good. So you don't want the hair to look amazing, but the makeup to look so-so. You don't want the makeup to look amazing and the clothes to look so-so. They all have to work together. So there's a lot of really big differences. So in the salon, a person just walks in and they say, I want my hair done this way. At Fashion Week, it is what is the entire aesthetic and how can we make sure when we style their hair that the focus is still on the clothes and or the entire person. Throw a 1 in the chat if that makes sense to you, if you're understanding the difference. In a salon, it's all about the hair. For Fashion Week or for print work, it's all about the entirety of the look. Many times at Fashion Week, you really don't see a lot of hair. And if you zoom in and you only take a headshot, it's like, well, why did they send that down the runway? That hair doesn't even look done. That's because they needed something to go with the look like. Think about the many times you have seen a model wearing some type of a collared shirt and her hair is tucked into the back of the shirt. Like you would never send a client out that way. But it's all about showing off the clothes. So when you work in print work, especially, it is the overall thing. Nothing in particular stands out. Differences in makeup, and I'll say for if you're working at a counter or doing weddings versus Fashion Week, when you do wedding makeup and counter makeup, generally is to make the person look really pretty. I have very seldom heard the term, let's make her look really pretty going down the runway at Fashion Week, okay? A lot of times the makeup might be smeared or rubbed off or just a faint hint. They might say, make her look like she had a lot of fun last night. It's telling a story, okay? When you're doing the counter, it's counter work, it's normally like, are you a warm person or a cool person? How can we bring out those cheekbones in those eyes? At Fashion Week, it's if we cut this cheekbone really hard as they're walking down the runway, when the lights hit it, is it going to draw attention to the neckline? Okay. Or wow, she's got these beautiful, great lips. You don't really see a lot of red lips going down the runway anymore because it draws attention away. So if she has beautiful, amazing lips, a lot of times they'll mute them out because they don't want you looking in her face. It's not about the beauty on the runway. It is about the entire look. Throw a 2 in the chat if you feeling me, if you understand what I'm saying. Okay, all right. A few of you are getting me. So what happens is a lot of times people think of runway shows and they look at the model, but I don't want you guys to do that anymore. Instead of thinking of the model, I want you guys to think of the page in the magazine. It's literally a page in a magazine walking down the road, getting closer to you and then coming back from you. So it's all about that image, which is why Fashion Week falls under print work, because the focus is the singular images that people, that photographers get, and the designers use it to promote their line, the PR use it to promote the designers, the beauty, the this, the that, and the other, okay? There are 4 top international fashion weeks. I want y'all to hear me, and I want y'all to hear me good. Tuscaloosa might have a fashion week. It is not one of the top 4 international recognized fashion weeks. okay? These are the 4 top international fashion weeks. These fashion weeks control fashion, okay? It is in the USA, the Council of Fashion Designers of America, CDFA, CFDA. In the UK, British Fashion Council, BFA. Italy, not about to trash that name. In France, I don't want to trash that name either, but I will read to you guys the translation in English, because Lord Jesus, they do not need me to trash these names. These are what are recognized in the fashion industry all over the world, okay? The US in 1962 created the Council of Fashion Designers of America to raise funds for their individual initiatives, okay? The council, however, is a lot more than just the annual awards ceremony. The CFDA has an exclusive membership of over 500 of America's leading designers in women's wear, menswear, and accessories, providing them with prosperous and impactful leadership and business support. The council also works towards expanding pillars, including diversity, equality, inclusion, sustainability through their impact initiative. In addition, the trade organization owns and organizes the Holy Grail Fashion Calendar, meaning if you're not on a CFDA fashion calendar, where you at though? You're not really a part of it. It's what they're saying in a nice way. The mission of the CDFA is to strengthen and impact American fashion in the global economy. A lot of people forget that fashion is its own trade and commerce. It's its own economy, okay? So it's not just about pretty clothes walking up and down the runway. So the National Chamber for Italian Fashion was founded in 1958. That is how you say it in English. It's a nonprofit making association with disciplines, coordinates, and promotes the development of Italian fashion. The association represents all the highest cultural values of Italian fashion. It aims to protect, coordinate, and strengthen its image both in Italy and abroad. The National Chamber for Italian Fashion is a nonprofit making association which disciplines, coordinates, and promotes the development of Italian fashion. I feel like I already read that. The association represents the highest cultural values of Italian fashion, okay? So how many of you knew that there were individual councils around the world that really dictated what is considered fashion? Put a me in the chat if you already knew that. Allegra says she knew it. Okay. All right. I got a feeling you're going to learn some new stuff today. Okay. So let's go on to the other 2 councils. The British Fashion Council was created in London in 1983. It's a not-for-profit organization that aims to harness the collective power of the industry to enable sustainable growth and strengthen British fashion in the global fashion economy. The BFC organizes biannual women's wear and menswear fashion showcases, London Fashion Week, and London Fashion Week's Men to promote the best British design in an international audience. Lastly, the French Federation of Fashion and Ready-to-Wear Couturiers and Fashion Designers is the governing body of the French fashion industry. The federation was created in 1973, growing out of an older trade association, which still exists within the federation, the Chambre Syndicale, which was created in 1868. By the 1st of July 2017, the federation removed its reference to French nationality for a more succinct title, because that is a title, okay? So here's some other things that it includes. The Trade Association of High Fashion, the Trade Association of Men's Ready-to-Wear Fashion, and the Trade Association of Women's Ready-to-Wear Couturiers and Fashion Designer. They also have schools. They have a lot of great stuff. The Federation is the home of Haute Couture. Haute Couture includes Chanel, Altier, Alexis Mobile, Christian Dior, Frank Sobey, and more. So anytime you have an industry, do yourself the favor of learning a little bit about the industry. Once you start to learn a little bit about the industry, you start to understand why people love it so and it's so respected. So once again, if it's not a part of these individual councils, it's not considered a real fashion week, okay? It may be a fashion week, it may be a fashion show, it may be somewhere that you go to learn, okay? It could be a lot of different things, but it is not considered a real fashion week. So a large part of taking this course is I want you guys to be able to point out what is a real fashion week versus a fashion week that you go to and kind of cut your teeth and get your practice in. A lot of times I get asked questions about what fashion week, where to go to get inspiration, what publications publish Fashion Week, real Fashion Week information, how to stay in the know and where they get their influences from. So let's go through some of these publications. And so once again, your workbook is fillable. These are some of the things that you really want to make sure that you're taking notes of for where to go to get information about upcoming fashion weeks, the key hairstylists, the key makeup artists, the designers that are showing, the schedule, and when they are showing, okay? You wanna look at Nylon, bizbash.com, The Cut, WWD, glossy.co, PR Newswire. Y'all keep that PR Newswire, put a star next to that. We want to make sure it's a real fashion week. The first place we're going to go is CFDA.com because that is our American Fashion Council and they hold the key to the American Fashion calendar. Remember I mentioned that a few minutes ago? You want to go to IFB, the Independent Fashion Bloggers. That website is heartifb.com. Even some other publications like the Vogue September issue, Vogue in general, Vogue, Elle, and Harper's Bazaar are considered the 3 top fashion publications in the US, okay? There's 2 fashion weeks a year in the US. They are in February and September, but September is considered the biggest fashion magazine edition. So that lets you know that September is considered the larger fashion week in New York, okay? In this course, I'm going to go over and teach you other fashion weeks that are also sanctioned by CFDA and other respected fashion weeks as well, but you gotta know who's at the top, okay? Other publications, if you really want to know a lot more about the beauty and the hair, include Allure, which I consider the beauty Bible, Essence, the Black Beauty Bible, Modern Salon, even American Salon does a great job with coverage, Behind the Chair, Beauty, Launchpad, Glamour. Nylon is starting to lean into the beauty space a bit too. Give me a 3 if you were keeping up with me and you took notes on where you should go for inspiration. Give me a 3. Okay, we're keeping up. Good, good, good. Once again, make sure to put all of your questions where it says Q&A at the bottom in Zoom. This is the thing that you guys really want to know. Y'all want to know, who do you contact to get hired at the show? Here's your list. Super simple. The show directors, the artists who work Fashion Week, the key hairstylists, creative agencies, sponsoring beauty brands, all of those designers. And we're going to go through step by step how to contact them and what to say. So remember, I just told you those lists of publications, those are where you find out who the designers are. That's where you find out who's showing. Those are where you find out the makeup artists and the hairstylists that are working backstage, because they're getting tagged in the publications, they're getting tagged in the Instagram posts, they're getting tagged in videos, and this is how you find their information and you reach out to them. So before you say, I don't know who I would reach out to, that is how you find who to reach out to, okay? You're looking for the other key makeup artists, you're looking for the other key hairstylists, you're looking for the designer names, you are looking for the show producers, you're looking for the show director in those publications. That's where you find that. That information is listed there. Also, if you go to websites that have press releases like PR Newswire, remember I said, remember that one? They send out a press release and it says such and such is showing at this fashion week at this date and time. Sometimes you'll run into press releases where it's such as leading the makeup, where it says such and such is leading the makeup for this fashion week show. This is quite literally how you find out who to contact. So it'll have the makeup artist or the hairstylist information, or at the bottom, it will say, contact this person for more information. That's who you're going to reach out to. So I think I might slow up a bit to make sure you guys are really feeling me. Oh no, we can go over. These are brands that I know for a fact sponsor fashion weeks, okay? So this means that they take a crew of artists to the shows and they provide hair and or makeup services for fashion week. These are the teams you guys want to be on. This is a small microcosm of the teams, okay? We all know Mac and Bobbi Brown, NARS are known for doing a lot of fashion week shows. We all know Bumble and Bumble, Tresemme, Aveda, Moroccanoil, they're known for doing a bunch of shows. What I would do is I would Google eCrew Fashion Week press release. And then I would look at the bottom of that of that press release, and it would say, for more information, contact this person. It's generally in the bottom left-hand corner. For more information, contact this person. And that's who I would email my information to. Once again, I am going to show you step-by-step a template. Okay, so I know that Sally's does shows because I've worked on their team. I know that Bumble does shows. Have I worked on their team? I don't know about that. Tresemme, I've worked on their team. So I'm going to Google Tresemme Fashion Week press release, and the information of the best person to talk to about Tresemme's Fashion Week is going to be in the bottom left-hand corner of the press release. The reason I can't show you that is because I cannot put somebody's contact information in a class, okay? But I need you to hear me and I need you to take those notes because that's exactly how you find the right people. I'm going to slow up for a second and I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about what to expect at Fashion Week. How does Fashion Week work? So towards further down on this path, I'm going to tell you how to reach out to people. But let's say you've already been hired, okay? The way fashion weeks are generally, fashion shows are generally scheduled for New York Fashion Week, although there are fashion weeks all over the world. This is generally how it's scheduled for New York Fashion Week, London Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, and the other one, and whoever I didn't list, the 4 top fashion weeks. Generally, fashion shows are 4 hours from hello to goodbye. So 4 hours from the time you walk in to the time everybody's gone because they're turning it over for the next show. You generally walk in, you make sure you look as nice as possible, get yourself together because if it's in New York, if it's in February, it's probably snowing. So, you know, you had to brave that. If it's in September, it's probably really hot. So you had to brave that. You want to make sure that you come with a fully stocked kit. And don't worry, guys, I got that download available for you, telling you exactly what you need to have in your kit. You want to make sure that your kit is as organized as possible. So when you walk in, you're going to keep everything in your kit and you're going to find the key. Okay. Well, actually, before you find the key, you're going to walk over and you're going to stand next to where you think you would like to work. But you're keeping everything in your kit until you find or are introduced to the lead hairstylist or lead makeup artist. Okay. At that time, they will tell you whether or not you should set up because they may want a different setup. Okay. They'll tell you whether you should unpack your kit or or if they want you to only use what they give you. Okay. 9 times out of 10 for a New York Fashion Week show, they will give you product and you will use your tools, but you always bring everything because anything can happen. I remember hearing about one show where part of the artist compensation was the really high-end products that they were going to get, but the boxes didn't come in time. Okay, so all of the artists had to use their own products. It happens. Okay, so once the lead artist tells you where to set up, that's when you set up. Sometimes they have you set up before they go over the look. Sometimes they have you go over the look and then set up. Okay. So generally there will be a powwow and a demo showing you the look that's going to be created that day, where everybody stands around and they watch the lead artist create the look, generally on one of the lead models, okay? That's where you take your pictures, you ask your question, you write notes, get all of the extra bonus points by writing notes in the step-by-step. A lot of times you will not know the look ahead of time that you're going to do, but at least it looks like you're trying to pay attention if you are placing notes. Now to ask, where did the artist get the idea for the look? The lead artist has already met with the designer and they do what's called a test where they create the look. This is done off site, sometimes earlier that day or 2 weeks ahead of time. I want you guys to get out of your head that fashion is this linear process and they follow this step by step in the creativity aspects. Many times they don't. This is very, can you move with the flow? Okay. So the lead makeup artist and the lead hairstylist have already met with the designer and they have narrowed down the looks. Sometimes you'll work a show where every girl will get the same hair and makeup regardless of features. Sometimes you'll work a show where certain groups get a certain looks. I've even worked shows, especially recently, where every single model, and there were 60 models, had a different pre-planned look. Okay, so you never go in there like, I know what it's going to be. I've done over 25 seasons. God, that's got to be at least 100 shows. I have to go in every single time, paying attention, ears open, eyes open, paying attention to what the look is going to be. The most important thing for you to pay attention to, they expect you to know how to execute. They expect you to know how to give them what they're telling you they need. Most important thing to pay attention to is how they want you to use the products. There's this new thing that's happening now where there is beauty behind the scenes. So beauty press comes in. Some of those beauty press that I mentioned to you, like Allure, Essence, Modern Salon, Behind the Chair, InStyle, may only cover the behind the scenes beauty experiments, that's hair, that's makeup, that's nails, that sometimes that's skincare. So it's imperative that you're using the products that they want you to use and the way they want you to use it, because now there's press backstage taking all these photos, and you certainly do not want to end up with your photo in Vogue using the wrong product. The business behind the scenes. So I'm taking you guys one step at a time, and now I'm backing you up. Now I'm telling you a little bit more about the business behind the scenes. The business behind the scenes of the beauty is generally a beauty line pays to do the hair, makeup, or nails for the show, right? So if I am working with, we're going to make up a name because I don't want to keep calling out names. If I am working with Zaza Beauty, Zaza Beauty has paid maybe $50,000 to provide hair products and to pay the lead artist and to pay the other artists and for all of the press mentions. So if Zaza Beauty is sponsoring it, they don't want to see another product line out at all. They don't want to run the risk of you giving free promo for something that they've paid for. They are hiring the artists. They are going to send out a lot of different press. They may even get featured on TV. Like E loves to do a lot of behind the scenes beauty. Yahoo Beauty likes to do a lot. Bustle likes to do a lot. This is what's called earned media. So they pay to sponsor the beauty aspect of the show, but they earn the media, the hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of media and brand attention that they're going to get. Am I making sense to you guys? Throw a 4 in the chat if you're understanding a little bit more about the business involved. Yes, yes, yes. So they have to make sure that they're being properly represented. There's a lot of business on the back end. They a lot of times get to choose their artists. So they want that particular lead artist to get the promo because that particular lead artist a lot of times is trained in what to say to the media. They know what points to drive home, which brings me to when you're working backstage, you absolutely cannot help it if they happen to take a photo of you styling a model, which great, that's what you call exposure, baby. When your images are ending up in Allure, Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, Essence, Nylon, that's exposure, not this exposure some of these other folks keep telling me they getting down in Mobile, Alabama. Okay, that ain't the type of exposure you want to get from a legit fashion week. But if someone comes up to you and they say, hey, can I interview you about this look? We never, ever, ever want to take that interview. That only goes to the lead artist. Think about it this way. They have worked really hard to get there. When I lead shows, that's the main reason you lead shows for the press that you get. A lot of people don't think about it. We're all working so hard to get somewhere and it can take many, many years to get there. Don't ever steal from another artist. That is exactly what it comes across as. And when you're working backstage, some shows now will let you record behind the scenes. You want to always clear that with the lead artist or the show producer. Others do not. Some people run a tighter ship. Another thing you always want to do when you're backstage is you want to, if you're the lead or if you're a top assistant, you want to get with that show producer to talk to them about, are all the models here? If not, are you expecting any late models, and make sure you have things ready to go. Naomi Campbell is absolutely known for pulling back to the back door of the show and waiting until 10 minutes before she walks in, and you got 6 minutes to get her good. That's it. She's not given any more time. Oh my gosh, I've seen so many people do this. But other times you are working with a lot of models who are working hard and they're pretty busy and they're running from show to show to show. So years ago, Fashion Week was in Bryant Park. It was pretty much all in the same place. And you just went from tent to tent to tent. Then it was moved to Lincoln Center, which is a little bit of a wider space. But now Fashion Week is being held in all these different studios throughout New York City. So there is no just run upstairs or downstairs or around the corner. Sometimes shows can be 20 blocks apart, and you see artists, schlepping from studio to studio to studio, 20 blocks apart getting there. But I'm going to tell you, there's nothing like working a fashion week. This is where you go to cut your teeth. This is where you go to learn looks. This is where you learn to work as a team. You're working as a team with your fellow makeup artist or your fellow hairstylist. You're working as a team with the other artists doing what you're not doing. Plus the nails are getting done, plus publicity is there, plus you're getting generally a lot of products. This is a growing situation. This is like graduating. Once you get to a real fashion week show, it's like graduating from elementary school to middle school, then from middle school to high. Like, you know, you are at the next level now. You heard? You heard? You heard? See, I gotta practice that. All right, give me a 5 if you're getting into the vibe a bit of what working a fashion week show can be like. I get asked quite often, so when I go to Fashion Week, what do I just do? 5 models or so, and then I go home? Well, if you're not the lead artist, you don't know what you're going to do. Sometimes you get to work on a girl and you create her whole look from beginning to end. She walks down the runway just as is. Most of the time, you may share. So if you're a makeup artist, the lead artist may decide to do a conveyor belt. He may say, hey, Stacy, you're doing all mascara. Melinda, you're doing all skin. Jason, you're doing all contour. And Shakira, you're doing all lips. Okay, so you're literally a part of the team. If you're on hair, they may say, hey, Jason, you're on blow dries. Belinda, you are on brushing up the pony. Shaquana, you're on holding the pony. And Lipton, you are on pasting on the accessories. If you are given the opportunity to do a whole model, for the most part, you won't do more than 2, if not 3. Remember, you get 4 hours generally from hello to goodbye. Now, after the pandemic, some shows are trying to give more time, but it is not the norm to be given more than that. So you also want to remember, when you're posting about your experiences, you always credit and tag the lead hairstylist, and then you can say, look executed by, if you're given permission to post. Throw me a 6 if I'm making sense. Throw me a 6 if I'm making sense. So generally the way it goes, you walk in, you are standing there, you are ready to go at your call time. You are standing in place. So if you're standing in place at call time, if your call time, like this Project Runway, your call time is like 4 a.m. But let's say it's not. Let's say it's a regular show. Your call time is 10 a.m., right? You're not coming through the door at 10 a.m. Early is on time and on time is late. So if your call time is 10 a.m., you want to be there at about 9:40. I want to remind you, if this is New York, in February, it's probably really cold, if not a snowstorm, okay? It's always around Valentine's Day and it always snows. It's probably really cold. You need to give yourself time to get there. You need to give yourself time to disrobe your extra layers. If it's the summer, you're going to get there and you're going to be covered in, drenched in sweat generally, because sometimes what happens is you don't even have the opportunity to get an Uber because it's around rush hour and it's busy, or you can't find an Uber to take you to the next show. Don't let those little things deter you, because Fashion Week is the place you want to be. So you want to make sure you get there in enough time to disrobe, clean up. I know it's weird to you guys that I'm telling you that part, but you'd be surprised what you don't know, okay? Clean yourself up, get your makeup on, smooth your hair out. You want to look nice. Make sure your pits are looking pretty good. And you want to be standing in position, ready to go at least 5 minutes before your call time. At least 5 minutes. I have walked into shows where the call time, you know, I cannot forget when I did the Pretty Little Things show with, I think it was a Pretty Little Things show with Tiana Taylor. I walked in, I was supposed to be there at 2 o'clock. At 1:55, I had a hard time finding the door. I was running in the door, but you know, I unpacked quickly. They had already finished the demo. Okay. So you want to make sure you're there a bit early, because a lot of things can change. They may decide to move up the demo. Okay. So you're making sure you're standing in place and you're ready to go just before Fashion Week. It's really important to have your kit organized. If you don't take anything else from this class, organize your kit. And I have a download. I have pages in the workbook telling you what you need in your kit. I saw a few people are a bit nervous about that, about your tools and stuff that you need in your hair kit and your tools and stuff that you need in your makeup kit. Make sure that you clean as you go. Don't take out anything extra that you don't need, because, you know, just like working at a counter or a salon, you want to make sure that, you know, none of your items grow feet and walk away, you know? So don't take out anything you don't need. Try not to bring anything extra and expensive with you you don't need. Okay, guys, so who's ready for a giveaway? Yes, the list was complete and helpful. I'm happy to hear that. Is anybody ready for me to do a giveaway? Anybody? Let me see. Yes, okay, I see a few people. Let me see. Is it showing? Okay, hold on. That don't look like it's sharing. Let me try again. I love technology, but only when it works. I'm telling you. This is going to be my first time using this app. Oh, and another question was, how long do you typically have to create the look? Anywhere between 15 minutes and an hour. Generally, you have 2 hours for all hair and makeup to be done. Hold on, let me. So generally it's 4 hours. So you generally have 2 hours for all hair, makeup, and nails to be done. This includes time for the models to eat and everything. Then they do a practice. Then that's generally about 30 to 40 minutes. They come back, you do touches. They get dressed, which is about an hour. And the show is generally about 15 minutes. That is 4 hours, okay? All right, let's move on to a giveaway. Let's move on to the giveaway. So I'm gonna do a click to spin, and wherever it lands on, they're gonna get to choose. I hope this person's here. Yay, Jennifer, because I know you're here. All right, Jennifer, you're here, right? You're here. Okay, awesome. So Jennifer, you get to choose. I'm gonna remove you now, okay? Let's see, stop share. Jennifer, you're going to get to choose between a H2 Pro Beauty Flat Iron or a Biolage hair care set. Go ahead and throw it in the chat. And Janelle, please take note of everyone who wins, please, because I got a few giveaways, but I think I'll only do a few tonight, and then I'll do more on our follow-up day when we go through the templates. You're gonna have to go with the Biolage hair care set? Okay, awesome. Awesome, so Janelle, please take note of that. All right, do I have y'all in here? I have y'all in here paying attention. I wanna make sure I still got y'all. Throw a 7 in the chat if I still got your attention. Okay, only a couple 7s. I'm gonna try to keep your attention. So yeah, I'm gonna recap that because I went through it fast. Generally, the show is 4 hours. You have 2 hours to do hair, makeup, and nails for every single model. That is every group, right? Generally, they leave for a rehearsal, which is about 30 minutes, give or take, okay? Because they have to practice going up and down the runway. The lead hair and the lead makeup go and take a look, and in the lead nails, they go and they take a look and they make sure that the designs that they have put together look great cohesively with the clothes and on the runway, because nowadays there is decor on the runway, okay? They come back, the models come back, you do your final touches. That's generally about 30 minutes. This is when it's all hands on deck. This is where you see these pictures of 3 makeup artists working at once, 2 hairstylists, 2 nail techs, somebody feeding the model because maybe she just ran in, and then the person standing there with the clothes to quickly get it on them, okay? Then they line up. Believe it or not, the lineup is what seems to take forever because they're generally standing there for about 25 to 30 minutes while they're deciding, okay, should we start the show? Should we not? Are the right people here? Then they do the show. The show is only 15 minutes. And then either you are standing there in line touching them up because the key has asked you to do that, or you are packing up to leave at this time, okay? You never want to be offended if you did what you believe to be a beautiful makeup job or a beautiful hair job and you see the lead artist completely change it. Their name goes on it, your name does not. It's okay, it's a team sport. I liken this to being on a 4x4 racing team. Individually, you are one of the top at that skill, but you can only win as a collective, okay? And there's always a team captain. Put captain in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. There's always a team captain, okay? And remember, we're doing these shows because you're trying to get to the top. You want to be the captain, so we're going to respect the captain of this ship. Yes, yes, Kim. There we go. Let's see what else we got. I might skip around a little bit. This is a little chart I made for you guys for when to contact decision makers. So let's go back. Here are decision makers sponsoring beauty brands, the PR agency for all of those brands listed before, the fashion brands PR, the show director, the show producer. Remember, we find these names by scouring CFDA. We find out the shows, we find out who's a part of them. We scour the publications that I mentioned earlier. I'm going to read them off again because it's really important to me that you guys understand how all of these are connected. You're going to find them listed in the Fashion Bible, WWD. You're going to find them in glossy.co, prnewswire.com. That is any press release organization. We're going to look up the designer. We're going to Google the designer name and press release. We're going to look at the bottom to see where it says who to contact. We're going to Google the brand that we know has done Fashion Week's other seasons. We're going to Google that brand and we're going to Google Fashion Week and press release. And then we're going to look on the bottom left to see who to contact. We're going to look at IFB Independent. I want you guys to really take note. They do a lot of good work. Heartifp.com, heartifb.com, heartifb.com. We're going to look at Modern Salons coverage, Fashionisha's coverage, Glamour, Nylon, their coverage, okay? And that's what we're going to find. We are also going to pay attention. This is kind of the easy way to get put on teams. We're going to reach out to creative agencies. So creative agencies are agencies that represent hairstylists, makeup artists, and clothing stylists. And a lot of times they keep a list of assistants. You don't always have to be an assistant, but when you are working Fashion Week, you're still considered an assistant, okay? Because there's one lead and 30 assistants. There are not enough Fashion Weeks for everybody to lead, okay? Go a 2 in the chat if you want me to run down a list of agencies that I know hire artists to work on Fashion Week teams. Okay. Opus Beauty, OPUS, Rex Beauty, Exclusive Artist, The Only, Cloutier, Celestine, Artists and Architects, Tracy Mattingly, C, which is SEE, Warpaint, Bridge Artists, Ken Barboza, Contact, Ford Models, Warren Tricomie, Windy City. Okay, I'm gonna run them down quick again. Cloutier, Celestine, The Only, Rex, Exclusive, Opus, Wall Group, Artists and Architects, Tracy Mattingly, C, War Paint, Bridge Artists, Contact, Ken Barboza, Ford Models, Windy City, Warren Tricone. Yes, yes, yes. So these are definitely things that I've added from last season to this Fashion Week class. So right here where it says creative agencies, I just gave you that list of about 15, okay? Oh, my pleasure. So we're going to go, somebody remind me to come back to the contact schedule. We're going to come back to that. Somebody was asking me, how do I know what to put in my kit? How do I know? Hairstylist, here's your list. This is a basic kit, okay? Really focus on the tools, you know, blow dryer, concentrator. So you want to make sure you have your list. You want to have combs, brushes, razors, scissors, cutting combs. You want to have a, I use a lot of metal tip combs because I just feel like you can use it for everything, for parting, designing, braiding, highlighting, coloring, whatever you need to do. Edge tamers, hairspray, mousse, blow dry gel, all of that should be in your basic everyday hairstyling kit. There's not much that I can think of that you need to add for Fashion Week that is not there. There's a few extras I'll give you on another page, okay? Maybe heat resistant mats or something you probably wouldn't normally carry. All of this is here. Most of these are in the Monet must-have kits. All of the different hairpins are in there. The different colors, the bobbies, the hairpins, the Japanese, the bendable, all of that's in there. The Monet must-have pin kit. So here's some extra stuff that might be unique for Fashion Week. The magnetic wristbands for you to put your pins on. Velcro hair grippers. Oh my God, those are great for really holding that part straight. It's really funny. We always laugh at how hard it is to get hairstyles to get a super straight part. And the crazy part is, believe it or not, when they're walking down a white runway, it reflects up on their scalp. So if you go here, like that's not straight, you always see like all of that happening. You got to really focus on getting that part straight. You'd be surprised the things that will show up on the runway. Some extra stuff, ladies, bring those personals because stressful situations bring on a list. Stressful situations bring on personal situations, if you get my drift. Pain relievers, because stuff just goes wrong, you know, when you're stressed. Zip ties, they're great. Ponytail holders, yards of thin aluminum or elastic spool are great for ponytails as well, okay? So all of this list will be here. Your PPE, do not forget that. Antibacterial wipes. I know we're not hearing about that all the time anymore. Don't forget that. And that goes for makeup artists too, okay? So makeup artists, we got you covered. Here's your list. Here's your list of stuff you need to bring. Disposables are high on the list for makeup artists. So hairstylists, we go and we clean our stuff, of course, just like makeup artists will clean your brushes, but it's not uncommon for there to be an outbreak of pink eye. Please don't be the one spreading it, and don't let it contaminate your kit. Bring as many disposables as you possibly can, a lot of spray alcohol, a lot of hand sanitizer, hand sanitizing or sanitizing wipes, all of those good things, okay? Body shimmer lotion, tweezers, sharpeners. This goes for hair and makeup artists. They may allow you to bring a light. I don't know. It depends on if they're allowing you to record backstage or not. But for makeup artists, it may be good for you to have it for you to actually see. Refillable palettes, spatula, all that good stuff. Look, I got you covered, makeup artist. I got you covered. So the question might turn into, okay, first of all, give me a 3 if you're still rocking with me. Give me a 3 if you're still rocking with me. Give me a 3 if you going with me. Are you guys able to see my screen? Okay, Kimberly, I'm not sure what's going on your end. Janelle, please message with her. She should be able to see the screen. You probably need to slide your screen over. So let's take you back a step, okay? Let's take it back a step. Let's take it back to how do you get the work to show people that you can do Fashion Week? Okay. I know I'm telling you how to reach out, who to reach out to. I'm going to tell you how to reach out to them. But sometimes you need a little more help with confidence. Sometimes you need a little, yes, I did sneeze. Sometimes you just need a little bit more help, okay? If you're trying to get yourself in the world of fashion, you want to start working on lookbooks with smaller designers, okay? You can find these designers on modelmayhem.com, models.com, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Everybody is doing what they got to do to get their work out there, okay? And when a designer makes a collection of their work, they do a photo shoot and they call it a lookbook. If it's all based on the different looks they've created, it's called a lookbook, okay? You start working on smaller shows, the church fashion show, the high school fashion show, the college fashion show, okay? These are ways for you to start to prepare yourself to get out there. You start learning how to reach out to people properly, how to put yourself out there, organize your tools and products. Remember that whole checklist that I gave you over there? Learn that you only need a little bit and you can use a lot of refillable jars to save your back. Also, because why let all your stuff expire and wear out? Start learning how to work more calmly under stress. When those clients are in your face busting off, they shouldn't be, but stuff happens. Learn how to ignore it. Ignore that coworker that's over there having a time. Ignore it. Start to thrive in stressful environments. Stressful can mean maybe you don't know how long you have, because I see someone keeps asking, how long are you given? There is no standard time for how long you're given for each model. Maybe 5 minutes, maybe 45. Maybe you are on a team of 10. You need all 10 artists to be really fast and get every look done in 20 minutes, but maybe 4 of them move really slow. So now instead of you doing 2 models, you're doing 6. It happens. Be able to follow multi-step directions. You guys may not realize it, but every time we do a class, I give you multi-step directions. And it's a stress, baby. Check your email, click the link to register for the class, and click this link to get your workbook. These are some really basic things that a lot of people struggle with, how to follow multi-step directions. Don't be the person that someone gives you 3 or 4 things to do, and you got to keep coming back to them every time. What you said? What I do next? How I do that? Start challenging yourself to be timely, be organized, and listen, okay? If you are a makeup artist, challenge yourself to do the makeup while they're getting their hair done. If you're a nail technician, challenge yourself to do the nails while they're getting their hair and makeup done, okay? These are just a few things you can work on to start getting yourself in a fashion frame of mind, okay? All right, give me an 11 if you're rolling with me. people rolling with me? So I've given you all of these lists of other things to do and other ways to work and how to start getting yourself around designers and how to apply to different and what different agencies to apply to. We haven't gone over the how yet. I'm looking to see if there's anything else that I want to go over first. Okay, we got some folks up in here. Okay, so as you see, there is an entire list of other shows that are outside of the four top fashion weeks, okay? Believe it or not, this Kansas City Fashion Week, that is a CDFA show, okay? So if that's a CDFA show, that means that the people working on the CDFA who are also doing New York Fashion Week, they'll be working within this show, okay? There's also individual designers that are a member of the CDFA who have individual fashion shows, and it's a good thing to connect with them. So what I did this year was when I gave you all of these different fashion shows and fashion weeks, a lot of them we also included the portals so that you are able to apply to work literally by clicking from your workbook, okay? So I know we got people in here in Texas. There's a small boutique fashion week in Houston. Okay, there's a San Francisco boutique fashion week. All of those are in Atlantic City Fashion Week. There's a Latin Fashion Week in Washington. I'm guessing that's Washington State. Okay. So I have shows in here all the way through 2023. And I know I just saw there's a Baltimore Fashion Week. I don't know if that made it to our list. That is next week. Oh, Baltimore Fashion Week in 2 weeks. There we go. New York Fashion Week, you know. So that is, I think that's a different fashion week, but it might not be. That might be a way to apply. There is no central one place to apply for fashion week. You have to apply for individual shows, but a lot of these fashion weeks had a portal somewhere saying, hey, hairstylists apply hair, okay? Makeup artists apply hair. Look at all of this. All of Tampa, Florida, Philly in September, Paris, Atlanta, Richmond, Virginia. Look at all these fashion weeks. Columbus, Ohio, Boston, Phoenix, Chicago, Charleston, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Look, we got somebody's whole email sitting right up there, Santa Fe, New Mexico. And here are some other shows in 2023. Some of the dates were not listed because you guys know we're coming right out of the pandemic, but these are fashion shows that are normally had at bare minimum once a year. So if you live near these cities, keep notes of it and follow up and see when they're having the show. The Fashion Designers Expo of Florida, I bet you it is lit there. Okay, I bet you that is where you're going to make all the fashion connections. The Derby City, I assume it's probably near the Kentucky Derby. Yes, for Greenville Fashion Week. Come on, Janelle, you did a great job on this. Janelle is my assistant who helped me. I got a lot of family down to the Greenville, North Carolina. Indiana Fashion Week. There's also Harlem Fashion Week coming up soon. So give me a number of how many fashion weeks you see on this list that are, oh, hold on, there's a whole other page that are on this list that are within 4 hours of you driving. How many you see in these 5 pages? You should be looking at your own notebook, okay? Your own workbook. How many you see that are within 4 hours of you driving distance? Because of me, I think I'm counting. I think I counted 14. Caprice, Aisha, Kim, Jessica, Jennifer. How many do you see that are within 4 hours driving distance of you? Yes, 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 that's right. Look, so you see four. Yeah, so there's multiple. There's multiple different opportunities to find these fashion weeks, okay? Awesome. I'm happy you guys are starting to see how many are around. Okay, seven. Okay, four. Yes. So there's no reason to say, oh my God, there's no fashion weeks near me. I give you some of the smaller fashion weeks because sometimes at the smaller fashion weeks, you make good opportunities. Like I've done Baltimore Fashion Week, I've done DC Fashion Week. Hold on, let me see more. There was another small one I saw that I know I've done. I've done Plitz Fashion Week. Where did it go? Plitz Fashion Week. I've done that. I think I've done Rise New York Fashion Week. Um, Philly Fashion Week is really starting to blow up. I haven't done that one. DC Fashion Week. Uh, I have done so many, and this is how you rise up because good people know good people, and you start to ascend. People, this is how you start to stay in touch. You start to get those really good connections. Aisha, I find it hard to believe you only see one. So take your time to look through these 5 pages, okay? I think you'll see more. Etiquette Fashion Week, Fashion Showdown, okay. Bellevue Fashion Week, Cleveland. I'm pretty sure there's a New Orleans Fashion Week too. Okay, so there's a list for you guys to look through. We even got Wisconsin Fashion Week and Scottsdale Fashion Week, okay? There's enough for everybody to find some. And then remember, you can always travel. All right, give me a 5 in the chat if you're still with me and if you are ready for me to do another giveaway. Y'all ready for another giveaway? Let's see. Let's see what else. Come on, run it again. Whoop, whoop. Kimberly Clark. Kimberly Clark, you're a winner. And yay, I'm happy you're here. So I'm going to remove you from the list. So Kimberly Clark, you saw yourself, right? Okay. So Kimberly Clark, I need you to tell me which prize you would like. Hair care from Biolage Professional or a hair tool like a flat iron from H2 Beauty Pro. Yeah, mama. Okay. All right. Okay. I think Janelle took note of that. Let's see what else we got. So some things that you can do while you're increasing your skill and increasing your confidence. I'd like to work on multiple things at one time. Something you can do to help get your name in the right mouths is you want to do photo shoots, right? Photo shoots that utilize designers. So that can be helping them with their lookbook. That can be helping them with their showroom. Sometimes there are shows that are done in showrooms, and that's done all throughout the year. It doesn't have to just be Fashion Week. So Fashion Week in New York is twice a year. That's probably the most that there's any fashion week in the country. It's twice a year, but designers are here to make money. So sometimes they have shows and showrooms. You reach out to designers and you find out, when are you showing? Are you doing a fashion show? Are you doing a fashion week? Are you doing a lookbook? Are you doing a photo shoot? Can I be on the makeup team? Can I be on the hair team? Does that make sense? There are fashion bridal weeks, there are texture on a runway shows, there are all types of things. When you reach out to brands, you can reach out directly to their PR department. You can reach out to their marketing department. You can even reach out to their education department to find out how to get on their teams, okay? Y'all give me a 6 if you're here with me. Give me a 6 if you're here with me. We're getting to the nitty gritty. We are getting to the nitty gritty. Remember, if you have any questions for me, make sure that you're putting it in the Q&A box below in the Zoom. I think I'm gonna come back to the tech stuff too. We're gonna get right into pitches. This is a really, really simple pitch that I would recommend sending to a designer, okay? Remember, we found their information by going through press releases. We found their information on models.com, on modelmayhem.com. We found their information on Instagram. We found it on Facebook. We've gone to their Instagram and we've clicked email and we've gotten their email address, okay? We have Googled designers near me. We have Googled New York Fashion Week designers. We have Googled, I don't know, let's find another. We have Googled Richmond VA Fashion Week designers, Tampa Bay Fashion Week designers, New Orleans Fashion Week designers, Plitz, New York Fashion Week designers, and Plitz is multiple different, in multiple different cities. So give me a 7 if you are listening to all the different ways we're finding designers to go directly to them, okay? And this is what we're going to email them. This is something that I want you to fill in, and you can keep it in your notes and copy and paste it, okay? We're not stressing ourselves out over pitching. We're saying, hey, designer, I'm a huge fan of this collection, and we're linking to it, okay? Because it might be their most recent collection, it might not be. But we always want to make sure we're on the same page. We're doing a hyperlink to it. I am, and you're going to introduce your name and hyperlink it to your website or your Instagram. Put a 3 in the chat if you do not know what hyperlink means. So you're saying, I'm a huge fan of your collection. I am, and you put your name and your title and the city you're based in. And, you know, we want to give it to them a little extra. Fashion is my passion, you know, give them a little something. I have been really hoping to work with a designer of your stature. And then we're going to say one of these 3 things, depending on where we are in our career. I've worked on these shoots. We're going to link to 3 shoots, or I've styled hair for these 3 notable people. You know, it could be a well-known drag queen. It can be a well-known model. It can be a well-known dancer, whatever, okay? I've worked on these shows. So it might be the Tuscaloosa Fashion Week. It might be this church event, whatever. Whichever of these 3 that you have that are the most notable, or you can put one of each, doesn't matter. I'd love to work with you on your upcoming lookbooks and photo shoots as a hairstylist or makeup artist. Please add me to your list of artists. I invite you to review my work here. So a lot of times what I do is I put my hyperlink to my Instagram here and a hyperlink to my website there. If you don't have it, don't worry about what you don't have. You're going to sign it with all your pertinent information. So here's a note. Anytime you are applying for any job, this is what you put. Sometimes you'll hear me say, apply for this job with a signature. So I may put up jobs in the Money Life Facebook group. I put up a lot of jobs in there. And when I put up those jobs, if nothing else, this is what I expect you to include. Your name, your phone number, your email, your social media, generally that's your Instagram or TikTok, and your website, okay? You cannot put what you don't have. So don't even ask, what if I don't have it? You can't put what you don't have, okay? So your comp card, that's what you want to sign it with. Let me show you an example of my comp card. Second. A comp card is generally an image or two and some pertinent information on you. So I am finding ways for you to sneak in as much information about you as possible, okay? Without making the website very long. I mean, without making the email very long. So mine is loading. Let's share. Here we go. This is my signature. So this is my name, what I do, the email, all of that's included, my websites, okay? This is my comp card. It doesn't matter if your credits are not quite at this level, they will get there. And it's ever changing, okay? So my comp card includes a couple of images that I'm really proud of. All of these are cover shots. Then it includes my top celebrities and top media and my contact info. You can only put what you have. If you don't have this level of work yet, that's fine, you'll get there. Put one really nice image and your contact info right beside it, okay? This is not something that is meant to stop you. It's something that's meant to help you. It's something that's meant to be eye-catching to the person reading. Make sense? Give me a 3 if it makes sense. Okay, I see a few 3s. Awesome. All right. So if you're pitching it to PR agencies that are not beauty, so maybe these PR agencies maybe represent the designer or represent the show, okay? Fashion and beauty are not the same. Before I moved to New York, I really thought fashion and beauty were the same. They are not the same, okay? So it's very similar. Hey, PR person, I'm a huge fan of this collection, hyperlinked it here. You put your name, hyperlink to your website or Instagram, and your title and the city you're based in. You give them a couple of notable things, whatever your notable thing is. Something is notable because it's something you would brag about. You would say, oh, I do this beauty queen's. I've done this beauty queen's hair. I have done that singer's hair. I have done whatever. It doesn't matter if it's a D-list celebrity. Trust and believe. They all start at the bottom and work their way up, just like you do. And if you are in Mobile, Alabama, and you're doing, you know, Miss Mobile, Alabama's Piggly Wiggly, South Shore winner, that counts. Add it in through there. If you don't have it to add, then you don't have it to add, but we're getting there, okay? Your signature, name, phone, email, your social media, and your website. All of you guys should have this. And if you don't have a website yet, you just put your social media, your Instagram, okay? And your comp card. Now for beauty brands, this is where we get a bit more detail, okay? This is where you generally will have the best luck and you get more detail. Hey, representative, because remember when we looked up their name on, when we looked up beauty brand, fashion week, press release, and then the bottom left, it said for more information, contact here. This is the contact. Hi, contact. I'm a huge fan of this beauty brand. And you know, you hyperlink it there, make it their beauty brand. I am, you put your name, what you do, where you're located, and you say 2 products on their line that you love. They are my go-to products when I work with X hair type or for creating X style, or when I'm doing X, Y, and Z red lip, or what, you get what I'm saying? They're a beauty brand. We're laying it on thicker with them. Oh yeah, this is a double thing. You can use this 2 different ways, okay? This is to get products from them. So you can use this to work with them for Fashion Week and or to get products. I did a whole live on this yesterday. This is how you create relationships, okay? You're saying what you love from them, right? And you can ask them to send you some gratis. Say, I would love it if you would send me some for my kit, or you could say, I'm working with X person and I'll be creating X look. And I would love for you to send me some products. And then you tell them the notable shoots you've worked on, okay? Making sense to you guys? This is how simple it is. You say, I'd love to work backstage as a hairstylist or makeup artist during Fashion Week for your brand. Please add me to your list of artists and I invite you to review my work here. I probably would put the request for gratis a little further down. That should be a little further down. That should be down here at the end after reviewing the work. So I'll be creating X, Y, and Z look, and I would love it if you're able to send me some products for my kit. Is this possible? Or do you guys have a gratis program? I understand when I talk, it can sound like multiple different things, but it's all feeding into the same tunnel. You know, once you get them to send you products, it's like you're dating, okay? If they consistently send you products, you go together. Once you're on that Fashion Week team and they paying you, we go together real bad. You heard me? Give me a 5 if you hear me. Give me a 5 if you hear me. Give me a 5 if you understand what I'm talking about. Wouldn't it be nice to not have to pay for every single product that you use and have them send it to you? And then know that if they send it to you, it's a good thing. That means that you have more of a relationship. Okay. So some of you guys, oh no, this was supposed to be career prices. Okay. You guys want to know how much you're getting paid for shows. So we're never going to pretend that fashion pays a whole lot. Fashion is to be used to leverage something else in your career. Remember when I talked to you about fashion falling under print work and celebrity work and red carpet work and stuff? We're leveraging this work in fashion. We're creating bonds with brands. We're creating relationships with them. We're creating relationships with other team members and other key people, and we're getting work out of it. When celebrities are looking for artists, they are looking for the artists that work on runway. Okay. So some of the show rates are pretty basic, 150. But remember, you're generally working 4 hours. So some people can say 150 is nothing, but how many people do you know make 250 in 4 hours? Okay. You're actually doing pretty well in most places in the country if you make 250 for a whole day. So a basic rate is kind of going back and forth for a 4-hour day between 150 and 250. Mid-tier artists that are more respected are generally doing 300. Top tier artists and keys are generally doing 500 for the show. However, they are getting paid and a lot of press, okay? The showrooms, remember I talked to you about how to get with designers and get on their team and get on their radar. Sometimes that might be doing hair or makeup for their showroom, and that's only 500, okay? The lookbook, a lookbook shoot generally is like 350 for you to do hair or makeup half day, and full day might be 600 hair or makeup. Generally, you are only doing hair or makeup, okay? If you're working with a small designer with a small budget and they need you to do hair and makeup for both, if you're capable and that works for you, you know, do what works for you. Let's talk about a couple of things that I don't hear people talking about very much. When I talk about leveraging, here are some other opportunities that you get out of working in fashion. and in beauty. Y'all want to hear about these other opportunities? Give me a 9 if you want to hear about these other opportunities. I gotta know you're still awake. I gotta know y'all still listening. Okay. Beauty Editor Styling Day. Remember when I told you to hit up these brands and tell them that you enjoy working with their products and you want to be on their list? Sometimes they look for artists to style beauty editors because beauty editors get asked to write about so many different beauty items, but they're not hairstylists, they're not makeup artists, they don't necessarily know how to use it. So a brand can hire you to say, okay, we need you to do red lips on editors all day today, or to show off our new blush, or to do blowouts, or we have this shampoo and conditioner and we're hiring a team of artists to come and do these 5 editors today. What's your rate? That might be 800. Okay. And then desk size for beauty brands. Now, look, no one ever talks about this, but this is a great way to make money. This is when you and that brand go together real bad. Okay. When they start saying stuff like, hey, we need an artist to do desk size. That means you go in and you talk to the beauty editors and truly explain the product, the uses, the benefits of the product. And you're delivering messaging from the brand. It's almost like you work for the brand, but you don't, because real employees don't make $1,500 in a day. So this would be that pay where you're talking to the brand. So I do a lot of desk side work and beauty editor work. Believe it or not, the less hair and the less makeup you do, the higher you're perceived, the better pay you make. So I go into extreme detail about leveraging these skills and stuff in the Celeb Gigs Academy, okay? So I talked to you guys a little bit about leveraging these fashion weeks and how to flip it into something else, okay? And I'm gonna tell you, I didn't make the industry, but everything is about flipping it into something more. Let's go back up to, where is I think I saw a question, but all questions need to be in the Q&A forum so I can make sure to answer it. Where is my checklist for how to follow up? Y'all was supposed to remind me to go back to it. I must have flew by it. I have taught you how to find who to reach out to. I've taught you how to find inspiration. I've given you a list of agencies. I've told you a list of beauty brands. I have told you how to find show producers and show directors through the publications that discuss it. I have shown you the different fashion councils throughout the world for you to find what shows are official shows. I've given you a list of hair and makeup brands. I've told you what to say when you reach out to people. I have supplied you with a template. Now I want to talk to you a bit more about when do you reach out to them. Don't get caught up in a timetable, guys. I put this for the people who need a timetable. I know you would like to think that if they have a show in 2 months, then they're already booking the artist. I have been hired the same day for shows. I have been hired at midnight the day before a show. I've also been hired a month out from the show. But when you are brand new, you're fighting a bit more to be seen and recognized. I am recommending that you start reaching out no sooner than 10 weeks before the show, okay? Then 7 weeks before the show. Then 4 weeks before the show. Then 1 week before the show. You can even reach out 2 or 3 days before the show, okay? Who are you reaching out to? You are reaching out to these people, the show producers, the show directors, the fashion brand PR, the sponsoring beauty brands PR, the sponsoring beauty brand education department, the creative agencies, the key hairstylists, the key makeup artists, other artists who do fashion week who are not keys, because when it comes down to it, if it's a last minute hire, they're going to just get a text to say, oh my God, we need another artist. Do you know anybody? The respect and adoration of your co-artists will always get you further than anything else, and that's going to get you the most jobs. Okay. Here's some technology that makes your life a lot easier. I am a major fan of Google Apps. I need you to have your Google Apps pop in. That means your Google Calendar, your Google Drive, and your Google Maps, okay? Make sure you are putting events on your calendar. That way you don't get confused about when they are. You don't double book it with another client, and you can also see where you're going for where you're trying to find it, and make sure you schedule enough time. For your finances and your invoices, remember we're getting into how to get paid and compensated for this work. I like apps like Zoho, Invoice, QuickBooks, and SquareBooks. Let me show you how to invoice after a show. We're going to invoice as soon as we are walking out from that show. You hear me? Not a week later, not a month later. When we book the show, we ask them who we're invoicing, okay? We invoice immediately. An invoice number is just 2 letters and a date. It can be your first and last name and the date. That's it. Real simple. So mine would be ME, and then the numbers would be 072522. Does that make sense? Give me a 1 if that makes sense. Okay. We're going to put the job name underneath it and the due date. It's generally 30 days. Okay. You want to invoice for 30 days. This is not like when you work in the salon on the counter and they pay you immediately. Unfortunately, they make us invoice for this. Okay. So you put your payee name and contact info. When they book us for the job, whomever we book it through, we are asking them straight up front, will you be the person who handles payments? They start acting funny, they start stuttering and stuff. You make sure you get that person's information before you go to the job, okay? You put your contact information over here. You don't want them to ever say they don't have it. The name of your business, the address, the phone number, the email, and the website. This is something, this is a secondary version of what I told you about the signature earlier for how people can get in touch with you. Always have this ready to go on the tip of your tongue. You're going to say the amount due, break it down how you got there. It's generally really simple for Fashion Week. Generally, it's just this, when they hired you, they told you this is how much we're paying, okay? A lot of times you're not able to invoice parking or travel or anything. But excuse me, especially if you are in a smaller town, see what you can negotiate. Ask them about it. Okay? Ways you accept payment. Vital. Listed on the invoice. Your Zelle, your Venmo, your Cash App, and who the check should be payable to. And make sure to thank them for their business. Okay? Keep in mind, these are the general rates. So if you do a lookbook half day, if you're negotiating that, make sure you're getting at least $350. Lookbook shoot full day, at least $600. The basic rates for the Fashion Weeks are there too. A lot of times they add on to your payment through compensation through products, okay? Don't keep getting booked for these shows that tell you they're paying you an exposure and they want you to stop your day, leave your clients, bring all your products and tools, and you don't get anything out of it. Please know products that you can benefit from do count as compensation, okay? But you gotta leave it something that's gonna benefit you. So what I generally do, you're not gonna see me work a show that is not paid in both money and products. I have done over 25 seasons. The first 15 seasons of Fashion Week, I listened to them when they lied to me and said nobody gets paid. Then I literally said, fine, I won't work this Fashion Week at all until somebody, offers money. And it was like a light switch went off. Now no one has No one has contacted me since and even asked me to work a show for free. Crazy. Went from nobody pays at all to, of course we're paid. Okay, so I hope you guys have been enjoying. I decided to throw in some receipts to you guys to other artists who've taken classes from me and what they've thought. And all of these people you can go and check out yourself, like Lori Pearson, who's taken multiple classes from me. I've learned from many educators over the year, but there are few whom I feel are exceptional. Monet is amazing. She puts her heart into her work. You're attracted to her passion for excellence, and you experience it in her delivery, because you know it's really important to me that if I am teaching, I want you guys to do well. I want you guys to learn. I want you guys to come to the Monet Life Society and talk about the jobs that you got, okay? I want you guys to say, oh, I got something from Monet that I haven't gotten from another instructor. Let's see what Vicki is saying. I've been a professional makeup artist for 4 years, and I never expected to learn as much as I did from Monet's class, Don't Get Played for Beauty Pros. That's the class that I just did, where I go into detail about how to get paid, expect payment, when to get paid, and how to send out your information. This course helped me to reevaluate and update the terms within my own deal memos and contracts. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And Lori took, she took the Celeb Gigs Academy. Oh, Lori's taking most of my classes, and her skills are just thriving. She's doing so much better up there in Boston. She's getting better paying jobs. She has applied for quite a few jobs in the Monet Life Society. She's learning how to leverage her gigs. And you know, the really interesting thing is what I mentioned earlier, which is you think the harder you work, the more you'll get paid, and that's not true. The smarter you work, the more professional you work, the more respect you get, and the higher paying gigs you get. We need to talk about your strategy. It's career defining, okay? It is the epitome of work smarter, not harder. My Celeb Gigs Academy is probably the pinnacle of my classes. This is where artists go when they really want to learn and grow, when they are tired of only working little $150 fashion shows, when they are tired of getting the quote unquote celebrities for $50 and a shout out, when they are tired of getting $400 days. They come and they learn my Celeb Gigs framework. It is my proprietary information to really help and grow makeup artists, hairstylists, and nail artists to the next level. They especially love the private group, the Celeb Gigs Academy private group, because we have the Monet Life Society, which is awesome, but all the real good stuff goes into the Celeb Gigs Academy private group. This is for when you're ready for the most prestigious gigs. The people who come into the Celeb Gigs Academy, either they've never done high-end celebrity work, or they have gotten like a little taste of working with celebrities and fashions and red carpet, but they know that they can be better. Sometimes it's worse if you've gotten a little taste of it, because you can't consistently keep it up. So you really need that help. And what I decided to do was, any beauty pro who took my Fashion Week class today, I decided to open up the wait list for Celeb Gigs Academy. You'll be able to take the classes now. Immediately, you'll be able to watch them, but the coaching won't start until January. So I decided, if you've taken Fashion Week today, how to get hired at Fashion Week, and you're ready to really soar, I'll let you in the Celeb Gigs Academy for a rather large discount. The price for 2023 is going to be $14.97, but I'm giving it to you guys for only $8.97. I figure if you came through Fashion Week, how to get hired at Fashion Week, you're probably ready to really make some changes. And Janelle will go ahead and throw that link in the chat for you so that you can check out the discounted course I'm giving to you. I just want to see you all win. I don't know if you know, I've been doing this for over 22 years. I am at a point where I just want to share. I operate in the open hand policy. We all want more, but it's very difficult to get more if your hand is full. I, in my whole heart, believe the more I give, the more I will receive, okay? So Janelle has dropped in the chat the link for you guys to check that out. And while I am here, let me go ahead and check out your questions. So someone asked earlier, is this Celeb Gigs Academy or How to Get Hired at Fashion Week? And it is How to Get Hired at Fashion Week. Okay. If you work a fashion show that is not considered a real fashion week, how do you list that on your resume? I would still put that on my resume, but I would not say it is official fashion week. So what I would do is, let's just say it was the Mobile, Alabama, St. Baptist Church fashion show. I would list that fashion show until I got to Mobile, Alabama Fashion Week. Then I would list Mobile, Alabama Fashion Week until I got to Atlanta Fashion Week. And then from Atlanta Fashion Week, I would only list that until I got to, you know, DC Fashion Week or New York Fashion Week. So you still list whatever you have done that is notable, okay? But a resume is a living, breathing document, and it constantly grows and changes. Ashley asks, do you know the look you'll be executing before you show up? Most of the time, you are not privy to the look you'll be given before you show up. In my belief, you don't know the look that you're going to be doing because they don't want you to send that look anywhere else. Everything is really hush hush. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have gone into this show, and they want to make sure that it's not spoiled ahead of time. This is why you can't even take pictures of the model's dress and post them on your Instagram until after the show. How do you choose what to pack in your kit? What if you don't have specific products needed? Okay, so you choose how to pack in your kit by following the workbook, because I gave you a full checklist of the things that I know you're going to need, whether you're a makeup artist or a hairstylist. If you don't have something specific in your kit, since you have your checklist, you probably should get it. But if it is imperative for the look, most of the time they'll have it there at the show, okay? They would never want to risk needing something for the show and an artist not having it. How long do you typically have to create each look? It depends. It could be anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour, depending on how detailed it is. But most of these shows are led by people who know how to lead shows. So generally, the amount of time needed will be properly given out to each person. Come on, Ashley, with these good questions. Can someone work a fashion show if they only do makeup or if they only do hair? Or do artists need to be able to do both? When you get hired for a fashion week show, especially a reputable higher end fashion week show, you're only going to be doing one. I have never seen a reputable fashion week show book one person to do more than one craft. If you are doing a smaller lookbook or a smaller photo shoot, they may ask you to do both. But by the time you get a little higher up in fashion, you are only being asked to do hair or makeup. Hey guys, now is a great time if you have any questions for me that you put them in the Q&A section. So the people who have this new and updated workbook are the people who signed up for How to Get Hired at Fashion Week in 2022, okay? Would style shoots be relevant? I am not sure what your question is. Maybe you're asking, would styled shoots be notable? Yeah, there would be notable. You could list that, or you could direct them to your website, where hopefully they will see your styled photo shoots, and you will have full stories, and they're not just one nice image. So in Celeb Gigs Academy, I even teach how to create a portfolio from the tech side all the way through to the artistry side, and having fashion stories is imperative. You don't want to send out just one nice look. What would you use as a comp card? So a comp card we went over in detail. It's going to be at least one image along with your contact information. If you have some notables to list, you're going to list that there as well. What is your website? So your website is going to be where people go to see your work. It is definitely digital. And if you don't have a website as of now, you could send your social media. Once again, in the Celeb Gigs Academy, we go over in detail how to build your website, what to put on it, what are fashion stories, what is impressive. In Celeb Gigs Academy, I even do a 30-minute individual session with each person who signs up to go through their entire course, their entire website, to make sure that they're on course and let them know where they should focus. Would you recommend for hairstylists to learn how to do makeup just in case it's necessary? If you have a feeling in your heart, deep down in your shanana, that tells you you as a hairstylist want to do makeup, then do makeup. If you have no want to do another craft, don't do it, because most of the time the model looks like you ain't want to do it. Okay. Only if you really want to do it should you click on another craft. Like I see a lot of makeup artists who may paint nails as well. They don't even want to be called a nail artist, but they don't mind painting nails. But that's generally for photo shoots. That's generally not going to be for a fashion week show. Okay. The best way to promote yourself as a new hairstylist without any salon experience. Oh my God. I do think hairstylists should get salon experience. If you're saying how to promote yourself in terms of Fashion Week, I'm going to recommend that you do the same thing, that you get some photo shoots under your belt, that you reach out to people who collaborate and partner with hairstylists, that's makeup artists, that's photographers, that's wardrobe stylists, that's models, and mainly put photo shoots together. That's going to help you even attract clients to come into the salon. What about a digital fashion show like Fenty? Is the timeline different? What is a sample pitch for that type of show? The sample pitch would be exactly the same. A digital fashion show literally only means that they did the show and recorded it and allowed people to watch it online. There's nothing different about it. Okay, guys, I am not seeing any other questions. I want to make sure that I've answered all of your questions before I let you in for tonight. How likely is it that I'll get hired for a show if I have no experience? They don't know what experience you have, because you're going to send them work as though you have experience. If you can't say you've worked with this person or you've done that notable event, then just skip over that part of the template, and you're going to put up an image of your work at the bottom. You have to make some work for yourself. Okay, no one's going to just hire anybody off the street, but you can make some examples of your work and post it to your social media. That way you'll have somewhere to link them to. So I hope that you have enjoyed How to Get Hired at Fashion Week. Please take a moment and check out Celeb Gigs Academy. And it would be great for you to sign up when you're really ready to do something better, do something different, get better paying jobs. What is a good policy after working Fashion Week as an assistant? Do you follow up? Well, the overwhelming majority of people at Fashion Week would be considered assistants. I'm not sure who you're saying, do you follow up with? Yeah, you can stay in touch with the key artists, you stay in touch with your fellow artists, you follow up with them. That way, when people see you working Fashion Week, they will keep referring you to more Fashion Week jobs because they know that's what you do. You'll have a talk with fellow assistants about what you're doing, what agencies you work with, what clients you work with, and how to keep it moving. Let's see this. Can I add work I have done during hair school as experience? Absolutely. Nobody will know where you did the work. You absolutely can add work from hair school. To get rehired or referred to other shows. Yep. So that question was right. Yes, you stay in touch with the key artists. You also stay in touch with the other assistants. How many of you have ever worked a red carpet or worked with a real celebrity? Not yet. Okay, it's gonna happen. I'm ready to help you get there. I'm ready to help you get there. Allegra, I'm surprised you haven't. I'm ready to help you get there because you know you've been coming to my classes for a while. So did anybody learn anything tonight in class? Please let me know something that you learned in this 2 hours that we spent together. Okay, the invoice was nice. Ashley Taylor says, I feel like I learned a ton. I'm trying to branch out of bridal, so this is a whole new world for me. Oh, Ashley, yes, it is a very different world. However, you are used to the fast paced, high stress, high emotion environment. So I think you'll probably do really well in fashion. Yes, you learn being more professional and dig deeper with brand and agency. You loved learning the business behind Fashion Week. Yes, Allegra said, I learned you have to be on the top of mind with the right people. Yes, Ashley, I think you would do great. If you're already dealing with high stress and high emotion, that's the worst part. So clearly your skill is there. You probably already work with hair and makeup at the same time too. Kimberly Clark said, I learned so much. Most importantly, I learned who to reach out to and how to find their info to get hired. Yes, yes, yes. I would only reach out or apply with artists, never reach out to the brands or PR team. Yes, you got to hit and hold in this panel, in this career, multiple different ways. You can never put your eggs in anybody else's basket. You are responsible for going after your goals. Caprice says, I absolutely learned tonight. I'm grateful for the list of fashion shows around the world that you listed. Also, how to connect with brands that will be at the show. Thank you. You are so well. And I love these little emojis. I think it must be you that keeps sending them. Very cute. Very cute. I love them.